Alright, so this video is going to be about how to set up your own diet, how to approach, figuring out your calories, and then structuring it, so on. It's something I constantly get asked. I feel like a lot of people are always like, oh, I always get asked this question, so blah blah blah, so they post like some random thing they actually just only wanted to talk about and no one really asked them about it. But this is something people ask me about, so I figured why not make a video, try to help you out. This is going to be the approach I take personally if you hire me to set up your daily calories, do a plan for you, all that. So now this is going to be kind of vague in a way. It's going to take a little bit of experience, which is why I recommend hiring a coach if you don't have the experience, to help you get in that right direction. But it's going to give you a rough idea and maybe help a couple people out. So step one is figure out where you're at. So weigh yourself first thing in the morning, empty stomach after you use the bathroom. The same thing every day. So like naked and shorts, whatever. Just make sure it's consistent each day. Take some starting pictures. Bam. Starting pictures, starting weight. Step one done. Step two. All right. How many calories should you be eating? This is going to be kind of a range. You know, it's going to depend on your daily activity. How many days a week do you work out? Stuff like that. All right. Generally between 10 to 13 grams is kind of like the safe area. Now if you're a little bit more active, you're working on your feet all day, you're moving around, maybe 12 and a half, 13 grams per pound of body weight. If you're on the lower end, kind of sedentary, maybe 10 and a half, 11, maybe even a little bit lower depending on how good how shitty your metabolism is. You might be down at like the 9.5 range for grams per pound of body weight, or sorry, calories per pound of body weight. I'm going to use the same example for each macronutrient. Setting up, we're going to go off a 180 pound slightly active person. So we'll say 180 pound dude or female, I guess, whatever. I don't really change it much between male and female. I still kind of stick to the body weight and daily activity. 180 pound person, slightly active, is going to get, we'll say, 12 calories per pound of body weight. So we'll do 180 times 12. This person's getting 2160 calories, 2,160 calories. Like I said, as a general guideline, I recommend starting as high as possible and then working your way down. Don't just cut really low because you think it's going to help you lose weight quicker. But like I said, it might take a little bit of help to figure out where that range is on the amount of calories you need per day. Alright, so let's say you got your calories figured out, you're good. Now let's figure out each macronutrient specifically to make up those calories. We'll start with the most important one, obviously, and that's protein. For guys, I'm going to generally recommend between 1 gram to 1.3 grams per pound of body weight. If you're super, or I should say more overweight, you can probably go a little bit lower on the 0.8 to 0.9 grams per pound. But generally we'll say 1 to 1.3 grams. Now if you're a female, I would say in the lower end we'll go 0.6 to a gram on the higher end. And this is going to generally, like I said, it's going to depend on your body composition, how much you're currently eating, stuff like that. So for our example, we have the 180 pound person who's going to have 1.2 grams per pound of body weight, which will bring his daily protein intake to 216 grams. Now the next most important macronutrient is going to be fat. For fat, I keep it pretty much the same for males and females, and it's going to be between 0.25 to 0.4 grams per pound of body weight. On females, it's usually to a little bit higher of fat and lower carb, just to help with bloating and stuff like that. Guys, I usually go a little bit lower on fat, but generally, for speaking, 0.35 is kind of like the safe spot for grams per pound. So we'll say for a 180 pound example, we have 180 times 0.35 is going to give us 63 grams of fat per day. So now we have our protein and our fat figured out. All that's left is carbs. If you don't know, 1 gram of protein, 1 gram of carbs are each 4 grams. 1 gram of fat is 1 gram of protein, 1 gram of carbs are 4 calories. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories if you didn't already know. So all you have to do is basically take your protein times 4, your fat times 9, and then subtract that number from your daily calories, which is the remaining calories you're going to have left for carbs. So for this guy, we have 729 calories remaining to make up that 2160. I think that's what we said. Yeah, 2160. So take that number, divide that by 4. So this guy's getting 182 grams of carbs per day. Now this is going to change. Say this guy's carb cycling, and this is going to be his, this is going to be his low day. Maybe he's on his high day. He's going to lower his fat, up his carbs, whatever, or his coaches, whoever's doing his diet. But we'll just keep it as one set of macros. We're not going to go into carb cycling and all that sort of stuff right now. Alright, so our daily protein, fats, and carbs are going to be 216 protein, 63 fat, 182 carbs. Now if you're going to do IIFYM, you can just download MyFitnessPal and you are done right here. Track your calories, and bam, you got your macros. If you're going to do what I recommend, what my clients usually do, and that's going to be set up a structured diet. Now, it's not going to really make a huge difference fat loss wise, but it is going to make a difference in overall performance, just how you're feeling, and and just general health. So, structuring a diet. I'm going to kind of just give all my steps or main tips, I would say, in structuring your diet. Starting with the number of meals, I recommend between, I would say, 4 to 6. That's usually the amount it takes to get in all these calories without having huge meals. It's a lot easier to digest smaller meals than it is one huge meal, and getting super bloated. So we'll say 4 to 6 meals spaced 2 to 3 hours apart each. For breakfast, my first meal of the day, I like to do a little bit of carbs, kind of just get some energy going in the morning. I don't go super crazy though, so we'll say something small like half a cup of oats, maybe a full cup depending on what your daily intake is, an English muffin or 2, stuff like that. It's going to be something kind of light. I also like breakfast to be a little bit heavier in fats, unless you're training right after breakfast. Then it would be a little bit different. For pre and post workout, and then also intra-workout, maybe, depending on how many calories you're getting in each day. I would say higher carbs, lower fats, pre and post workout. Also protein with each meal. That's obviously should be kind of obvious, but protein is kind of the base of each meal. And then pre and post workout, we'll say lower fats. Still put a little bit in there, maybe, but mainly carb focused meals. If you have carbs at other meals, I would suggest more complex, slower digesting carbs like your sweet potatoes and oats and all that good stuff. Run your workouts, maybe something a little bit lighter like white rice, white potato, something that's not going to be taking a whole bunch of energy for your body to digest and whatever. I kind of just worded that really bad, but I'm going to continue on because we're 9 minutes in and I don't feel like making a new video. So, like I said, I like fats in the morning, and I love fats before I go to bed. It's like my go-to. I don't do a lot of carbs at night unless I'm like off season and I just need to get in more calories. Then I'll do a lot of carbs at night. But when I'm dieting, it's usually protein, fat, and I'll do a decent amount of fat. I'll have like a few eggs with some macadamia nut oil or peanut butter, something like that, or fish and peanut butter, whatever. Not together, but you know what I mean. Eat the fish, then eat the peanut butter. Don't mix that shit. It's probably nasty. The next thing on the list is going to be cardio. Obviously, that's kind of like everyone's like main thought when you think dieting is fucking slaying yourself on the treadmill or Stairmaster. Now, cardio is always going to come secondary to diet. Diet's number one. Don't think you're gonna fucking stair step your way out of eating fucking pizza and drinking beers all weekend. Now, I generally don't think you need to go overboard all the time. I will always recommend 2 to 3 25-minute low intensity sessions a week, just for overall health, digestion, and yeah, you know, whether I'm bulking or cutting, I do that. So we'll say that's kind of like the starting point, is 2 to 3 25-minute sessions. From there, let's say you're kind of stalling out, you're not really losing the weight you want, maybe up at 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, add an extra day of cardio. That's just kind of stuff you got to play with. You know, it's going to take a lot of experimenting, or if you don't know, hire someone and they can tell you exactly what to do. Which kind of brings me to my next step. Step 6 is going to be adjusting calories or cardio. I probably haven't even been saying what steps we're doing, but whatever. So starting out, you should drop a fair amount of weight initially right off the bat when you start your diet. It's going to be a lot of water retention if you're eating a cleaner diet. And, you know, you're going to eventually stall out. You're probably not going to be losing much weight. So I say if you're going a week or two and your weight's kind of not going anywhere, your body composition's not going anywhere, it's time to switch something up. So, general rule of thumb for me is either pull from carbs, lower your carb intake, or increase the cardio. Me personally, I'd rather do way more cardio than take away food, because I like eating as much food as possible while I'm dieting, because I just feel better. So let's say you're doing 2-3 sessions a week and you're not losing any weight, up at the 4, you know, that easy. And then reassess each week. So that's simple. Like I said, if you're gonna drop your calories, take it from carbs first, take it from your fats later. The last thing you should ever pull calories from would be your protein. Only reason you should pull from your protein is if you were very, very, very overweight and you've lost like a significant amount, then you probably need less. Like for example, if you were like 300 pounds and you got down to 230, 240, you probably need less protein now. Which is also another reason why I start protein a little bit lower on those people. But anyways, the final thing I want to talk about before I finish this video off is going to be cheat meals, going out to eat, refeeds, whatever you want to talk about, call it. So don't let diet consume your life. If you're not doing a competition, there's no reason to be super fucking psycho about your diet. Live your life. If you're going to go out to eat for the day, you know you're going to go out with your family, your friends, whatever. Just be like conscious about it. Lower your carbs the day before, or leading up to that meal for the day. Kind of just, you know, like give yourself a little bit of cushion for that meal later. Which is kind of like why people say, oh, that's why you just do IFYM. Well, fuck you, whatever. I don't like doing it. Yeah. Don't overthink it. You know, it's not that hard. If you're going out for margaritas tonight, maybe don't have pre and post workout carbs, or maybe don't have as many fats for breakfast and whatever, you know. Pull from other meals to kind of compensate for the meal you're going to go out. But at the end of the day, go out, enjoy yourself, and then just get right back on it tomorrow if you fuck up your diet. It's not the end of the world. You should be able to kind of judge by how strict you need to be, by how much results you're actually getting. And at the end of the day, if you don't know, ask, hire someone, whatever. I really hope this helped you out. If you made it this whole time, shoot me a message and I'm going to give you a great discount on some protein and pre-workout. Just mention that you made it to the end of the video and I'll hook you up. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Shoot me a message, text, whatever. Email, I guess. And yeah, just let me know. I would gladly help you out. If you want any information on my coaching, my personal training, where I kind of just do all this work for you, let me know. And I'm going to throw a discount as well on meal plans and coaching if you made it to the end of this video. So mention you made it to the end of the video and you want a discount, and I'll take a little bit of price off your monthly coaching. So anyways, hope this helped. Have a great day.